For the following exponential function, graph the function, give the domain and range in interval notation, and write the equation of the asymptote. So here we have an exponential function of base 2, and there's some changes happening to it. So this minus 4 over here, because it's not inside the exponent, that's a vertical shift. So it's going to move the graph up or down whatever number of units this is. The plus 2 that's on the inside of the exponent, that's going to be a horizontal shift. And we'll move the graph left or right, just depending what the value is. Now, in order to graph an exponential, it's helpful just to memorize what the base function looks like. It's got a horizontal asymptote at 0, and it passes through a point 1 unit above that asymptote and grows very slowly up to that point, and then changes and grows very rapidly afterward. Okay, so the vertical shift moves everything down, in this case, by 4 units, including the asymptote. And I think that's the best place to begin these problems. Just move your asymptote to where it should be, which in this case is 4 units down. Now, normally we would have a point 1 unit above the asymptote, but that point's being moved as well. It's moved 2 units, in this case, to the left, because that horizontal shift always happens in the opposite direction of a sign. All right, now it is a base 2 exponential, and in order to give you an idea of how quickly this function is growing, to use a base 2 exponential, if you go over 1 and up 1, that will give you another point to pass through. All right, so our graph is going to grow very rapidly after this special point here, and it's going to grow very slowly going the other direction to the asymptote. That's a very good sketch of a graph here, and all we really need to identify the domain and range of the exponential. And domain and range of exponential functions is very straightforward. You could honestly memorize the fact that exponential functions are defined everywhere, so their domain is always going to be all real numbers. The range is restricted, however, because there's no part of this graph below the asymptote. So we start from the asymptote, but not including it. That's why I've got parentheses. And then go off to positive infinity. Now the equation of the asymptote, it's a horizontal line, and all horizontal lines have equations that are of the form y equals some constant. And that constant is just the y value that it's passing through. And we're always passing through -4. So the equation of the asymptote is just y equals -4.